Good evening. Welcome back to this channel. Welcome back to another live from the Norwegian woods. Once again, I'm your host, Ulf Hawkins from whitewolfalchemy.com. And in this video, we are going to be talking about the third energy. Had a really interesting client down in Israel the other night. Big shout out to you. You know who you are. So awesome to work with the real deal graduate souls, and to not use the term twin flames, or as she calls it, twin fucking flame. We can all resonate with that if you've been on this path authentically, genuinely on the twin flame alchemy journey. You will resonate with the French term twin effing flame. And she had so many good questions, and only so much gets to be worked through or answered in a session. But we get to cover so much ground of what is necessary. But she left me with some really great topics. She left me with some really great topics for this channel and for the tribe, the true twin flame community. And I don't cater to that other stuff, the twin flame religion. I don't cater to, the mainstream cosmopolitan twin flame narrative that everyone has one, which is bullshit. It is rare. It is a rare experience. Those of us that know, we know. And it takes one to know one type of deal. And working with my clients that are the real deal is just so inspiring to hear what they are doing, how they are analyzing their process, and then they're coming over my work, which is quite different from all other twin flame teachers out there, with good reason, because I do not come from a religious background, so there's no religious connotations in my work. And whatever belief systems there were, thanks to the Toltec teacher Mark Cloudfoot, a lot of those belief systems that I had from the New Age community is removed and liberated from my consciousness. So you won't get so much fluff. You won't get so much unicorn, rainbows, and angels and masters and things, but you will get straight to the core, straight to the truth, straight to the nitty-gritty of what it is that you need to understand and wrap your head around to have a successful solo journey or union, all depending on where you're at. So this one, we had a good talk about the third energy in our session, and she experiences the same as a lot of you females out there. When the third energy is strong and you're in radiance together, the man lets the radiance go to his head, and he gets seduced by his own biology and wants to plant his seed all over the place. And then the third energy begins to fade. The third energy begins to fade because he cannot produce that amount of radiance all on his own. Not that amount. A certain amount, yes. A certain amount of vitality and radiance can be produced in union with self, union with the mystical. And that takes a whole lot of capacity, a whole lot of consciousness. You have to understand that you're dealing with the body as a laboratory and you are performing alchemy from within. And if you do not understand that the endocrine system is your laboratory, you're going to have a real hard time producing that level of radiance. But it kind of comes a little for free when you're in the initiate stages of your alchemy. As initiates of the flame, you get a little bit for free with the the sexuality. Produces, of course, immense amounts of third energy. And being in close proximity and together and working through things increases your third energy. And so you begin to look younger. You begin to shine from within in such a way that, people take notice. And this attention, if you have not worked through your ego, will wreak havoc on simple minds and simple souls for a while, because they will get taught lessons from the universe, from the cosmos, and the absence of their significant partner, their other. And so, they take this third energy, they take this newfound power and sexual attraction with them off into the world and want to use it for their own egoic benefit. And coming from ego with this third energy simply for the gratification of the flesh is a misuse of this energy and this consciousness. And they will be shown that they need the other one to produce the same amount of third energy and upkeep this sexual attraction, to upkeep this radiance that is attracting lots and lots of females. This charisma, this mojo, it will not last on its own for most of you, because you do not understand why it's happening, because each of your organs and glands are reaping the benefits of your heightened third energy and kundalini energy, which then increases your vitality and your radiance and your je ne sais quoi and your mojo and libido and all of that stuff. And you begin to look like you've been drinking of the fountain of youth. And so, if you don't understand the mechanics of the twin flame ascension, you're going to start aging again rapidly without your partner. And you may even start to look a little gray in the skin compared to what you did. Your eyes might start to look a little dull, because you're also emptying out your seed. You're probably ejaculating a lot there's unhealed sexual addiction there, probably because you are wanting to be promiscuous with the sacred union template, which will it's not it's not what it was made for. It was made for you to be monogamous and share have a shared unified field to fill with energy, so that you can use it for creative expansion, so that you can use it to manifest, um, your dreams and your visions, and your soul potential, not to say the least, here on the planet, which is very, very needed at this time. Um, and so instead of using it for creativity, instead of using it with consciousness, it is used with unconsciousness and used for personal gratification, for the ego, for the flesh, which leans more towards left hand magic, towards service to self. And this is an energy that wants to be worked towards service to other, and service to the union, service to one another, and to keep source creative energy then at the center of your union, and cultivate, and you know have a conglomeration of light that just grows and grows and grows and grows, as you expand in consciousness together and shed belief systems, and anchoring ideas, ideologies, and belief systems, shedding those from the body to get lighter and lighter and lighter in consciousness, vibration, and frequency and energy. So, because these belief systems on planet Earth are so dense, the ideas surrounding love are so dense, um, degenerate, actually, a lot of them, and toxic, absolutely. The romantic idea surrounding love, the romantic belief systems surrounding love, like a Disney fairy tale, is absolutely toxic. There's no freedom there at all. It's spiritual bondage, a lot of it. And even the twin flame belief system, the twin flame religion itself, is spiritual bondage. If I can't live with you, I don't want to live at all. That's not love. That's something else entirely. That's the parasite. And we will get back to the parasite later on. Somebody did not want to hear that. They they were not spiritually mature enough to hear that. Uh, I love it when that happens. It's just so clear. I can't say anything that is offered to hold you in accountability, if you are not spiritually mature, without you leaving the broadcast. And so I can tell who's spiritually mature and who's not by when you leave the video, which is very funny. All right. So it's a sexual parasite. And this sexual parasite is causing a lot of these twin flame males to leave their union. They want to go out there and spread their oats, spread their seed. They want to go out there and use this third energy, this new found je ne sais quoi, mojo, charisma, radiance. They want to go out and use that for their own sexual gratification. And then as they use it and abuse it, the radiance lessens and fades. And then they want to come back for another hit. They go back to their divine feminine for another hit. But for those divine feminines that have caught on, the pheromones of the divine masculine have changed. They will not be attracted to his scent anymore. So that's where perfumes and things come in and wreak havoc on our natural abilities to choose a good mate. And because he has changed his frequency, he may no longer even be your so called twin at all. You have changed. There's been alchemy involved, and he has squandered the connection, squandered the union, squandered the third energy, and wasted it on harlots, for lack of a better word. But yeah, this is a sacred connection, a sacred union. It wants to be treated as such. It does not want to be treated as a polyamorous doo-doo caca spread. It's not what this is about. If you want to go and experience and live that out, that dream, then that is something else entirely, and it's your free will to do so. But um, the shared unified field makes it incredibly difficult to add more chefs to that kitchen. You're in the kitchen, in God's kitchen together. You're in source creator's kitchen together, cooking up a stew, cooking up a sacred union stew. And if you add more chefs to that kitchen, it's just going to be a whole lot of mess. You're not going to know whose shit you're expressing. You're not going to know whose stuff you're working with. You're not going to know whose templates, patterns, and programs you're working with, because you'll have grandma and grandpas from various bloodlines coming through into the unified field and get expressed through the participants. Participants, how sad is that? Right? So there's nothing sacred going on. It's just a mud of sexual energies, just sludge, crap. If you want something sacred, you have to treat it as such and approach it with the level of respect and consciousness that it deserves. So you'll have to learn how to navigate this together and comprehend what it is that is going on. Understand that you are not in a regular relationship at all. You're experiencing something different. You're experiencing the new template of love and relationships here on planet Earth. So you're going to have to look at your ideas and belief systems surrounding love. How do I comprehend love beyond what Hollywood and the music industry tells you? Because that's toxic. That's toxic love. Beyond your pornographic programming, you're going to have to start slowing down when you make love. You're going to have to look into sexual alchemy, tantra, energy, and understand that this is entirely different than what you've ever been working with. Some of you may have had an inkling, and from time to time met someone spiritually mature enough to have a heightened sexual connection and experienced burst of tantra and things, and kundalini energy. But most people on this planet, they don't get down like that, and nobody gets down like graduate souls in the bed. Like, they treat sexuality entirely different than the pornographic population. It's no wham bam thank you ma'am there at all. It's just a different sexuality, a different approach to sexuality. It's another energy, another level of consciousness. Just in the same way, someone from middle school, someone from high school, and someone from college, and someone who's like 30 years old, the difference in which they approach sexuality from their level of maturity is the same. Most people on this planet are like kindergartners, soul wise. Then you have a few who are like elementary and middle school soul wise, and even lesser who are high school consciousness soul wise. And then you have very, very few and rare graduate souls that are like college soul wise. But we still have to graduate again. We've graduated before, so it's in our muscle memory, in our soul memory. We've done this work before. But we still have to do it all over again. And it's extremely hard. It's extremely difficult work to do, which is why there is a need for twin flame coaches, the real deal fucking twin flame coaches, not these copy paste coaches that you see a lot of. If they don't have their own flavor, and if they don't come at it from an own experience, rather than copy pasting the internet, then just leave. You have nothing there to gain, or they have nothing to offer you. Save your time, save your money, especially because there are so many out there that are not the real deal. And they will wreak havoc on your unified field. They will wreak havoc on your energy, your mental body, your emotional body, and etheric body. Because, it's like taking your car to an efficient experience mechanic, or taking your car and parking it in the yard and let a bunch of first graders smash your car in with tools. That's basically how your energy body looks when you come from one of these coaches and come to me. It's like you've been in a car crash, especially if it's from the TFU type of people. They have no idea what they're doing. So you want to use this. You want to use this third energy consciously together, and understand that you're either building energy or dispersing energy. Sex addiction, masturbating, overly masturbating, that kind of deal will deplete not only your energy, but the energy of the unified field, of the both of you, the shared unified field. Things like alcoholism, drug abuse, these things, smoking cigarettes will deplete the shared unified field, because your lungs is your fire, the fire from within, once again. So abusing substance, stimulants, smoking too much stuff, or smoking too much tobacco even, will lessen your third energy, and reduce the conglomeration of light, your vitality. So you're going to pay for this in the long run through lack of radiance, through gray skin, through dull eyes, through weak organs, weak glands, weak endocrine system, weak laboratory of God. So that's why I preach spiritual accountability, mind, body, and spirit. You have to take care of your mental body, your mind. You have to take care of your physical body, your emotions, your energy, your spirit, your soul. You have to understand what you're working with, what you're up against. Oh yes, Saran. Although I'm doing this journey solo, this all resonates. Absolutely. This would be gold for anyone who's on the twin flame solo journey. Because if you do this kind of thing yourself, you can get to where you were with the twin, but on your own. And that's becoming a person of power, as opposed to being powerless due to the lack of the twin, which we see so much of in the twin flame community, because there are so many unskillful twin flame teachers out there, absolutely unskillful. And is this because they've been taught wrong? Their belief systems are skewed and messed up, or is it just because they're not what they say they are? We can all figure that one out. So you have to learn how to navigate it. And if you're in a power struggle, for example, with your significant other, then um, you will have times when communication is difficult, and it only triggers and leads you to an increased power struggle. My mentor Mel Brand had a beautiful advice for us when things were like that. He said, "Sit back to back and shut up. Be quiet. Sit back to back and just feel the energy. Feel when the third energy rises. Feel when it increases. Feel your way through the union rather than speak and fight and quarrel." There's so much that can be said without words, that can be said through energy. And then you'll realize how special your connection is, how special you are to one another, and what you can actually do. There's power being granted to you here. There's power being granted through the third energy, and you can use it for so much good. Your healing powers will increase. Your healing capabilities will increase. Your skills, your talents, your gifts, your traits, your consciousness will grow and expand, and your anything you used to be good at, you'll be great at. It's just no brainer. Um, but you can absolutely do all of this stuff solo. If the nitwit has left the connection wanting to use it for ego gratification, and I know I've been there in a way, where I learned that I could have, you know, I was shown that I could have what I want. I was shown that I could have anything that I wanted, and that these connections weren't as as limited as we were programmed to believe. Um, the religious connotations to this connection were removed, and I was left with a multidimensional option for those that understand that, realizing that there are many avatars to this multidimensional consciousness of a graduate soul, not just the two of us that were initially initiated, and that every catalyst is not a false twin flame or karmic twin flame at all. You both just don't have your shit together. That's all. Any karmic or false twin flame also holds the potential of being a real twin flame if the both of you get your shit together. So it's all the same stuff, and it's not their fault. There are no karmics. It's I'm sorry, twin flames do not have karma. When you're at that level of co-creating, you don't create karma, and you don't carry karma because you came through being of service. You came through as a volunteer. You volunteered for this stuff. You didn't come in with karma, and nobody owes you any karma either, and you don't owe anybody else any karma. You can't do any service with karma. That's for the regular people, the regular folks. And graduate souls are in no way regular folks. They are operating from a heart consciousness. And if they're not operating from a heart consciousness, they're going to have like instant karma, instant type of cosmic bitch slaps, to be honest with you. And so there's no karmic bank with your karmic debt, or where your karmic credit card will be declined in any type of way. That's not going to happen. You're a heart-based being. You have a wide open heart center, and you are in service, doing good. Hopefully, hopefully for you, and hopefully for humanity. We need a lot of heart activated people here. And so you also serve as a heart activated template holder, templating other people to have their heart activated. But in no way do you have karma, and in no way do anybody else owe you any karma. Especially not between the two of you. If you are one soul, one multidimensional soul. You can access the same higher self, the same consciousness. You can access the same kind of cosmic mind, same source, intelligence. So, there's no need for it. There's nothing to repay. And all of these connections that you've had were potentials for a sacred union. You just did not have your shit together enough to facilitate one. Neither did your partner, because all it takes is one of you to have your shit together to help the other navigate. You kind of take the lead. Whether that's the male or the female, it doesn't matter. All it takes is for one of you to have your shit together. And if you're not in union and you think you have your shit together, then you're wrong. You don't, because then you would be, guiding and leading the other one to come, but you're probably stuck in ego and stuck in your, oh, if only my divine masculine had his shit together, we would, oh, I hear that one a lot. It used to be me. I used to be, a divine masculine with his shit together. Um, I thought that the moment there was someone that was staying with me, there was a connection, and they were actually staying. I got to see a whole other side of things. They were not running; they were staying with me and wanting to figure shit out. We were forced to figure shit out because we were in lockdown. But yeah, it became apparent to me very quickly that, oh my goodness, I had so much work to do. I really, really, really thought I, was more prepared. But I knew enough for us to be able to navigate it. I knew enough to understand what was going on when one of us became toxic, and shit were brought to the surface. I understood where it came from. I could see her mother. I could see her father. I could see grandparent energy in there. I could see my father. I could see my mother coming through me. I could see the narcissistic template through our various bloodlines come through each of us. And when it did, and we all do, I know a lot of you don't want to hear that either, but you have to come to a place where you start admitting to yourself the narcissism that runs in your family, which is the unhealed inner child. And if they've not done inner child work yet, they're going to carry out narcissistic templating, because the narcissism in our world is simply due to the lack of inner child work. Once you do the inner child work, that stuff, insecurity, triangulation, need for attention, all that stuff, it goes away, and the narcissism is healed. And that's what we need to see on a global scale. And the social media is making that increasingly hard for even the most skilled of the graduate souls. I can tell you that much. There are more than one spiritual connections, twins indeed. So as they jump in and out, it's not a complete solo journey. They're helping me sort things out, but I go my own path, follow universe. Yes. Yes. And eventually, you will have someone that stays, that does not go in and out. But they are activating different parts of you. These are other versions of you that hold a fragment of you. It's like soul fragmentation, soul retrieval on a multi-dimensional scale. It's absolutely amazing. And at one point, I was in connection with many at the same time, and I could pick and choose. That's when I had this experience of the radiance. I was in deep radiance, and I was attracting multiple twins at the same time from the same monad. And we're all monadic twin flames. There are none that are dual only. That's misinterpretation. We're all multidimensional monad graduate beings. It's like a hive. We're like a beehive, and you're a beehive onto yourself. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So I was in the radiance stage, and I experienced this attraction of many of my avatars, and this heightened sexual attraction. And I tried to have a regular relationship. I tried to have a non-connection based relationship, but it didn't work. It was the dullest thing I've ever experienced after having experienced connection, after having experienced Kundalini connection, soul to soul connection, telepathy, and dream weaving together, all of the juice that follows these beautiful sacred connections. Without that stuff anymore, I just became increasingly bored, and I was having astral visitations from several of my connections, and eventually I left the relationship, and I traveled to Portland to meet my second twin flame, my second connection, which turned out to be a shadow dancing fast like you wouldn't believe. And then I went to Washington to my beautiful soul family there, licked my wounds, and went at it again like you did. And they all had a piece of me to offer back to me, whether it was a passion for dancing, whether it was a passion for singing, whether it was a passion for painting, for art, for the healing arts, for the mystical. Um, you know, they all brought back a piece of me that I was not giving room for. So I think that will be this